Hey friends, I'm Mike, your friendly neighborhood comic book colorist, and welcome to this video series on styles of comic book coloring. Today, in part 6, we're going to have a first real departure from reality. As you can see, I'll go over what we've done so far, and of course you can subscribe to get the new videos and click the picture of my face to go look at the old videos. We did Black Cat here. This is where we started with an airbrush generic style. We moved on to cell shading with Rocket Raccoon here and did this really wild color scheme. Then we did the Hulk in a very traditional blended paint style that's a bit more textured than airbrushing, and you have a bit more freedom. There's a lot more tools involved. We just finished a video where we did Iron Man with Copic markers. And zoomed out like this, he probably looks fairly normal, but if we zoom in, you can see he's very textured. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there. We did him largely freehand, and you can watch that video if you want to see me and some of the Copic marker tools that I use. Copic style, I should say. I mean, we're just trying to recreate the feel of those awesome markers here digitally. I'm working in Manga Studio. I don't think that we're going to do anything today different than would be in Photoshop, so I'm going to try and not talk about those differences. We are going to do Black Widow here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that the inks are very different. That's because I took a black marker and I went in there and I just messed them up. I just kind of scribbled around. I looked at a picture of Liz Sherman in BRPD. I'm not sure which BRPD. I think the End of the World ones. What was that called? Oh, I don't know what the series is called. I know I read it, and it was awesome. But we are going to paint her with texture brushes. And I don't want to call it, it's not painting with texture brushes. It's really kind of its own thing. We're going to do a little influence of Dave Stewart and his work on those comics, but a bit more normalized for what a lot of the texture brush people do. We're definitely not going to do one in the style of Hellboy, which is so specific. You will only find that style with Mike Mignola's inks. And learning the style of Hellboy isn't super useful. I made a video on it if you want to check back. Did I just say that? I don't know. I've had a lot of caffeine today. Click back and I show you how to kind of recreate. I did a Mike Mignola drawing of the Fury cover, the one with the dragon, the chick who turns into the dragon. The Storm and the Fury is one of my favorite Hellboy storylines. And I did a Sharpie and pencil sketch of that, and then colored it with cloud brushes to kind of quickly mimic that Dave Stewart thing. So we're going to kind of do that today, but not really. And color selection, all these other pieces, like, oh, these are her colors, these are his colors. It's gonna be a little bit different because when you have light with this kind of messy inked, messy texture brush style, whatever color the light is kind of the color you brush in. So it's not very subtle. There's a lot more, I mean, really because it's going to be black on yellow sun, it's going to have a lot of contrast and it's going to have a somewhat interesting look. The good part is it should be super fast. Like we might only be coloring 10 minutes once we get going. I'm going to show you the tools here. We are going to use I don't know what we're going to use exactly, but I'm gonna pick like 5 or 10 brushes here that we may use. I've got this hard-edged texture brush. I'll make them different colors. We've got this what I call organic stippling. I believe that this is a Japanese, like a manga brush that was designed to be leaves on some type of Japanese tree that I think, I'm not sure. I've been really making a lot of brushes lately. I've got my punk rock poster ink brush. This one's very pressure sensitive and we can create a lot of different colors in here, which should be fun. And then a lot of these watercolor brushes aren't going to work. Like this definitely would not work whatsoever. So we're going to use the wash brush here, maybe, where we can go totally desaturated and then kind of everywhere in between and mix it around. I think that'll be a good one. This is the blend brush. You've seen me use this on the Hulk. I use it in my blend kit. I have this same I call it a watercolor saturation builder. This is the same brush, same settings that I have in this texture pool here. And here, let's change the color. That's this, and I can just go from like desaturated to saturated, but then I can desaturate again. So it's kind of an interesting brush. And then we're going to use Danyori, which I don't think I've used here. I have this exact same brush in Photoshop, and I've used it for a long time, and I love it. Let me show you. Just this is a super versatile brush. It could be used, say if we were, it could be used like a gloom brush, right, to do something like that, and like, you know, something up here, or flip it over the other way if you wanted to do a post-apocalyptic kind of background in a tiny panel. We could size it down and go a little bit lighter and go even further off into the distance. But when it comes to color, see, we can create these real funky edges and a super solid center. It's just, this brush is the best. When you use it, it's the best. Oops, I'm sorry. Hit the mic there. Okay, so these are the brushes that we're going to be using. And I don't think I should need anything else. Let's see how quickly we can knock her out. So the first thing we need to do is we need to darken this centerpiece up a bit. And you don't want too much of any one color anywhere. Why is that coloring that? Oh, I see what the problem is. Alright, first things first. Let's jump down to the flats. Let's grab, I got ahead of myself. We're going to grab her costume. Call it cost. Alright. Just kind of throw some color. Get some unevenness in here. Then we can go back in with that blend brush if we need to add more texture or desaturate it a little bit. It'd be really easy. Because really the edges are where this thing is going to change color a lot. So we have a left, we've established the light sources on the left, and it's going to be yellow, and it's going to be yellow. Too much? I think so. Let's try this. Let's move down to this blend brush. Yeah, that's better. See how much variance is in here? If we click around, we get different values. That's kind of what you want. I hope I know how to edit these videos so you don't have to hear what just happened. My dog somehow managed to turn on the TV, which made my other dog freak out. Because they're stupid, because they're dogs. I don't know if I like that spray paint look or not. Let's see how silly this looks. It's almost better to just stay zoomed out here since you're throwing all sorts of little stuff all over the place. We'll come back to the uniform once we take out some of this gold. And I'm sorry if any of you are offended by what I've done to those beautiful inks. I should have spent a little bit. I mean, it should be sloppy, but I probably should have erased them and started from scratch and just left the outline. I didn't want to mess with her face too much, though. Actually, I don't think I messed with her face at all. I tried to square off her chin, and it just didn't look right. What are we doing? We're doing this. All right. What? How did I swap to a cloud brush? That's not what I want. That was easy. I think we need some more color down here. A little bit more yellow. Because I didn't change the color of the flats underneath, the transparency is adding gray, which is desaturating. Was that obvious? Was that a stupid observation? I don't know. Now let's add a little bit of yellow in here. Some little messy squiggles. Yeah, see, this is a vast departure from the rest of the styles that we've done. In both color selection, and we're just gonna take that even further with her hair. Now, where are we at? No, here. I can't think of, I mean, I know that the hair wouldn't look like this. I can't think of how it would look, but I just kind of like how that looks. So let's purple, deep purple. Whoa, whoa, why didn't someone tell me? No. No. These videos would go so much better if I had some color palettes ahead of time, but I don't. No. So purple color. I didn't do the gun. I didn't do her hand for some reason. Costume. We're going to go back to the watercolor blend brush. I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here. Whoops. A man who doesn't like pressing Control Z would probably use the marquee tool, or the lasso, if you will. See how we're looking? Imperfect, right? Messy and textured. That's what we're going for. These last two videos have been like super. It's just me smearing around. I don't know what you're gonna learn. I feel like I'm just kind of smearing around texture, and that's really like if the color selection is good, that red is too saturated. Oh, she probably jumps like it doesn't look like it's changing. Well, why do you think that is, dummy? Oh, Danyori. Brush rules. Too much. Too real. Too real to put the dark spot down the middle of the head. Man, this image is going to look so weird when we're done. That's right. By the way, the flat file that I'm using for this, which isn't as good as I thought. You need to go through and check for pixels, but at least I didn't have to do it, right? I shouldn't complain. Is on DeviantArt. These are J. Scott Campbell pencils, also available on DeviantArt. Links are below. What are we on now? We gotta do her face. So we're gonna give her cheek a bit of that hard yellow just in here, and then we're gonna see shadow. Now if this were Hellboy, we'd have to be like blacking out half the face, but in a lot of the BRPD, if you look at, well, there's been a lot of artists on it. I like the newer 1953, where Paulo Rivero did the dog story. That was really cool, and it was very different art. Dave Stewart, that's why I talk about Dave Stewart so much, because he's so versatile. He really does what he's supposed to do and serves the artwork, and he's just so good. We're going to have to do some color correction here to bring all this stuff together, and maybe put a some type of layer on top. Something like that. Ugh. What am I doing? Uno momento, por favor. Let me figure out how to do this. Make it not look like butt. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is muddy and gross looking. That doesn't look right. I had a color that I didn't hate. What is that, green? Too much green in there. Real light like that. Some nice rosy cheeks. I'm going to have to blend this down a little bit. You don't want this much texture in the face, I don't think. My brush head size is just big, and I don't want to take the time to... Since it's... I mean, there's no... If I was doing it with a smaller brush head, but since it's so zoomed out, I'm just going to soften it up just a bit. Not totally. Let's see. Not totally. There, a little bit. See, there's still a bit of, you can see where it kind of stamped and twisted the cloud type shape. Just maybe with a little bit more on the nose. A little bit on the cheek. I don't know what to do with her eyes. I like her eyes as green though. I really couldn't tell you what they are in the comic book. Maybe just what we'll do. Grab her eye color. Go super light. And then the areas across from the highlight. Like that. Then we'll go dark and really saturated. And just, whoa. Yeah. Like that. And those look nice. Now her lips, again, they're gonna, if the light is yellow coming in, then they are gonna be yellow. Whoops. What did that just do? Why? Why? Is everything the same color? Her lips and hair are the same color. That's not cool. So, well, I guess if we could go back to the hair layer. Lazy, stupid, free flatter. Go yellow. And light. We're going to go back to Don Yori for this and really texture it up. And then we're going to go grab that. I'm okay with that color. Just minor oversight here. Probably should have labeled these. Doesn't need to be real, but I can't help myself. I may have that separation in there. Oh well. Now she looks like she has a beard. I don't know what to do with this eyebrow. They put color over here. The eyebrow is a separate color. Come on, man. What color is it? That's what I want to know. No. Oh, wait, let's just take this color. I was really close. And then... Is this your face? No. Where's your face? Is this your face? No. Is this your face? That's my face. No. Looks like crap. It's fine like that. Alright, what are we missing here? We gotta do the gun. That's gotta be its own color, right? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, her front side is yellow. Her face looks okay. Her hair is sloppy and weird in texture. I like the colors though. Her belt is probably a little too real. I mean, it's not very realistic, but it's okay. Maybe. If we just took thick stipples, grab that color, and I just feel like we could go darker in here. I'm not even on the right layer. Oh god, that looks horrible. That was a terrible decision. What if... And she's wearing latex, right? It's supposed to bounce light, but this is probably the least latexy paint job ever. I like how her face looks. It's the rest of her that's just kind of messy. I just want to knock it down a little bit. Not a ton. Just lighten it just a little bit. Maybe. Well, that was easy. This is a highly stylized approach, and not something you would see on an image that big. We kind of did like an internal, like an inside panel apart from her face. There's just no detail in there whatsoever. But yeah, that's how I would go about texture brushing. And we can see how I was zoomed in on the gun, and I thought that that would show through, and it didn't. There's a good lesson right there. Like even though that looked okay when I was doing it, it needs to be. Whoops, let me find it down. I think it's this bottom one. Oh, that's a blender brush. JK. That just wasn't enough. See, it doesn't look good when I did it right there, but once you zoom out, like you need that. You know, one more thing. Like this leg is still going to see that ugly yellow color. Just right there. Whoops. I'm pushing hard in some spots and not as hard in others. So you get kind of a variation. Even though we blended this down a little bit, the gray is still coming through, and see how it's pushing that into gray, even though we're way over here. Not a big fan of that stipple crap. Alright, let's see if we can't adjust. Just kidding. Black Widow. Did you know that once upon a time Black Widow was... There was a Daredevil in Black Widow comic that I used to have some Silver, I think it was Silver Age. But I used to have a bunch that I had gotten from a family friend or something when I was a kid. And I remember that, like that comic was really cool. And I think that led me to the Frank Miller version. And then the painted Daredevil and Elektra. Who was that? It wasn't Paulo Rivera. There is a painted Daredevil and Elektra comic that's amazing. Amazing. Alright, now we've got one layer. We're just gonna... This is how I check value, which I know is crazy. Most people do it the other way. They go like this. And really all you're looking for, like this, are these outer edges, because that's just really wherever the light is hitting it is multiplied by 100, but there aren't highlights per se. When you're with the style that I'm kind of imitating here, it's kind of textured thing. Wow, we had to take out a lot of saturation. What if we bump the brightness just a little bit? Oh, she looks better. right? Maybe we can kick this up just a little. Yeah. Some of that is orange. Let's... Whoa. You guys think? Pretty cool. I mean, for such a messy... I mean, that's the idea, is that it's supposed to look like you just have a marker going to it, right? You got all these weird little textures and felt bits that fly off, and who knows. Definitely different looking than Iron Man. Really doesn't fit. Those inks are a mess, but part of me says that they're supposed to be. She looked like... This is going to look weird. Oh no, it doesn't look that weird. That's how she looked. Those are her original inks. And that's what I did to her. I put it on a separate layer because I didn't want to... I thought if I hated it enough that I wanted to be able to go back and fix it. So there, we've got a texture brush style. I will eventually make all these brushes available on Gumroad or somewhere once I get them dialed in. I am pretty new to Mega Studio, but feeling more comfortable every day. And yeah, so subscribe if you want the rest of the videos. If not, I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, or whatever you want to call this. This exploration. It's really an exploration. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm just kind of feeling out different comic book styles. I'm trying to increase my own range so I can increase my opportunities to work, because I do love doing this so much. So like and subscribe, and by all means, please go grab this file and do 17 of your own and post it and share it. I mean, that's post it in the comments, and let's all learn from one another. All right, thanks guys. I will be back with... The plan is we're gonna do... So Loki is gonna be photorealistic, and Thor, we're gonna throw all of these painting styles into Thor. And I've painted Thor before. He's like one of the characters I've actually done on this thing. So we're gonna throw everything at him and really make him look cool. But and God knows, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing for other ones. There's gonna be simple styles. There's gonna be very complex ones. There's gonna be just weird ones like we just did. So this will be fun. But I'll see you guys soon. Take care.